We are closing on the date where we lost some of our human beings, some air flight passengers. Very tragic and sad story, and that they simply just vanished from the face of the earth. Today I'm not gonna talk to you about like the how what about this story, but I also would like to talk to you about like this greatest avionic mystery in the history and see if geospatial data, satellites, and this sort of Earth observation practices would come to rescue or help any climate-related sensors and receivers, radars. So if you don't have like time to watch the entire video, the simple answer is no for at the current time. But I'm gonna explain how in the future it will be possible with the advance of the technology. Um, it was a quiet night, long story short, over the South China Sea. Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370, a Boeing 777 departed from Kuala Lumpur at 12:41 a.m. bound for Beijing for with 239 people on board. But within an hour, it disappeared from civilian radar and never found again. Uh, so why do long story short, I would like you to just consider that how there might be somebody navigating the entire airline aircraft into somewhere that it can be never found. So obviously there, if it is true, then there were some information, cargo, somebody that should be vanishing and disappear. That's all what we can speculate. We never know. But in once it goes to when it comes to the avionics, radar, Earth observation, we feel like we need to know what is the fate of this aircraft in order to find the gaps in current state of the technology where we need to do the advancements for the safety or whatever. But today, right now, I'm just gonna in the next few minutes just give you like a podcast way why geospatial analysis could help and how we have recorded the last moments that made us sure that what has happened to this particular flight. Satellite imagery, including Landsat, Sentinel. You know, the Landsat is the U.S. Survey geographic satellite, and Sentinel is the European. We have like two. One Landsat since departed and launched to space back in 2013. So maybe part of the question is MH370 what occurred its disappearance occurred in 2014. So maybe Landsat 8 could help. However, the other Landsat 9 departed in 2020 or 21, and the Sentinel A and B, Sentinel 2, 2015 and 16 respectively, they wouldn't be even there to help. We also have Digital Globe and Maxar. So optical imagery and synthetic aperture radar, in short SAR, from satellites were used to search debris on the ocean surface. Public and commercial satellites scan thousands of square kilometers, especially the Indian Ocean. Inmarsat satellite data, which is quite important for us. Although not an Earth observation satellite, Inmarsat 3F1, a communication satellite, played a critical role. It detected handshakes, ping burst from MH370 for hours after the plane vanished from radar. These were analyzed using Doppler shift and geospatial modeling to produce the now famous as 7 arcs, narrowing down possible crash zones in the southern Indian Ocean. This is the part that I just wanted to share with you, and that's the reason why I'm recording this video. But it's, yeah, you will mostly hearing it once you are not watching it, and just like as a podcast. Oceanographic geospatial models, drift models simulated where debris might travel from a potential crash site. These helped locate parts of the wings, flaperons, found on Reunion Island over a year later. So why satellites had limitations? Coverage and timing. Satellites like Landsat or Sentinel have fixed revisit times. The aircraft's disappearance had descent likely happened in a time window not covered by overhead passes. The region is vast and remote, not regularly monitored in high resolution unless tasking commercial satellites, which pretty much impossible for us because we didn't know it. They wouldn't know like, hey, I'm gonna crash over here. It's a very tragic story. Sometimes, yeah, started to wonder and go to the state of shock, to be perfectly honest with you. A very big mystery. The another problem is the resolution of these public satellites. Generally range from 10 to 30 meters per pixel. I mean 10 meters by 10 meters or 30 meters by 30 meters. So totally, like for example, for the Landsat we have for the RGB 900 square meters, which is too coarse to detect a small debris or aircraft wreckage on a turbulent sea. Cloud cover and nighttime, that's another problem. Optical satellite struggle with night coverage or heavy clouds, both common in the area and season. So, which satellite recorded the last moments? Inmarsat 3F1, as I said, a geostationary communication satellite, did not capture visual but tracked the plane via satellite pings for nearly 7 hours for after radar contact was lost, which is pretty much consistent with the amount of the fuel that the airplane had before the flight. It was not more than not more than what he expected, not less. So pretty much mystery, as I said. Nobody knows what happened. These pings were not GPS. GPS global positioning system signals. You know about that once you have like the phone, of course. But handshake signals that let analysts infer the aircraft's possible location and movement using geospatial math. So in conclusion, spatial analysis didn't find the plane, but it reshaped the search and offered the humanity its best guess. While our satellites weren't looking in the right place in the right time, their silence helped map the mystery. And finally, about the future is like once we have better sonar technology, we can find the black box, and I think it answers all of the questions. So my best guess is like in 10 or in the next decade, uh, I would assume if the story is all get together and the plane crashed close to where I live in Australia, like closer to Perth actually, it's like far away from where I live, closer to the Earth or the Antarctica, somewhere, geographically speaking. So if it happened there, then we need to make a guess, like where exactly. And where it has crashed, I guess that's the ocean depth is like nearly 4 kilometers. So I think the sonar, given like the black box stops transmitting the signals about a month after it the plane crashed. So we need to have like an active signals and receive it in an active way, not a passive signal. So we need to emit and send a signal and receive it back, which is not active, I mean effective more than a few hundred meters. And hopefully like in the future they can find it. Another problem by using like visual is like, but for sure after like 11 years, I mean today as I'm recording this video, which is March 2021 2025, we expect like some layers of ocean sediments on top of the black box, if not damaged and deformed already. So finding that is, although it's like created of some synthetic and metal objects and items and materials, it might be still a big challenge and a complex task to be done. Hope to find it soon, and so many questions would be answered, and I feel yeah, like heartbroken about what happened, especially like the families involved. God bless you. Thank you for watching this.